Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I will be checking out a new track from Soul Despair called Crimson. I have been running their self-titled EP into the ground, so needless to say, I am very stoked to see a new track from them. They have an outstanding sound. I cannot speak highly enough of the EP, so if by chance you're watching this and have not heard it yet, I highly encourage you to go run it. It is what got me into the band, got me really on board and looking for something new. So we're very stoked to see a new song. I will link all of their social media as well as the visualizer or video for Crimson in the description. Thank you very much to Soul Despair for getting this over to me with plenty of time to make a video. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. That chorus? That chorus. Despair, Crimson. Let's discuss. For me, my favorite track off of the EP would be God Eater. I think that's it's pretty easy of a decision for me, but when it comes to the EP overall, I think that's something that I was very excited about was their approach on the choruses. I felt like it made some of the tracks stand out a bit more than they would have to me otherwise, but with this, it was a bit different for what attracted me the most in this song, and I think it's a good progression of their sound too, because I think some of the stuff with the EP, it just explodes into these parts that are like, what, like that was that was super heavy or whatever the case may be, kind of like a shock factor or whatever, but this felt a lot more evenly paced, I guess. I don't want to make it sound like it's like a mellow track or anything like that, but the first minute of the song leading up to the chorus for the first time, I feel like you really get you get a chance to get familiar with the groove, with the atmosphere, the kind of ambient lead that you're hearing that you wouldn't necessarily hear as clearly otherwise if like that lead I had mentioned, I don't remember what part of the song, but it's not present in that first minute, but the lead that's a little bit more consistent, it added a ton for me, but that first minute where you're really able to hear beyond that, I felt like was important. It gives you a chance to really familiarize yourself with the layers of the song, kind of, and then that lead comes in and it adds something really special to it, because I feel like some of the vocal patterns even stuck in my head a bit more because of that lead so consistently behind it, if that makes sense. A kind of a driving factor for some pieces of this song. But at the same time as those things stuck out to me, it had such a deep groove to it. As soon as that first riff kicks in, I really knew that they were going to continue kind of what... listening through the EP, it was from the vocal standpoint, the guitar work, it was like a perfectly rounded EP for me. So going into another track, after a debut or an introduction to the band from me like that, it always has me a bit nervous, just in case like my expectations are super high and then I'm not, so I don't especially making a video or something, because then I have to come up with how to like say, I didn't love this so much, but it's for some, but that's not at all how I felt about this. This feels like a continuation that's them sorting out their sound a little bit, I guess, like with what I'm talking about with that lead, with the heaviness feeling a bit more like spread throughout the track and not necessarily those big like moments that it all leads to. It feels very consistent, I guess would be a good word, just like that lead kind of adds to that mood. It keeps it throughout the song. I think it has a great progression to the end of the song, the point where I thought it was going to go back into the chorus, and then I think it hits you with blast beats or something like that. I'm sure I will have a ton of plays on this song in no time, but after one listen I can't quite remember. I just remember thinking, okay, structure-wise, we're about to go back into the chorus, and then it was different, and then the chorus came a bit later. So things like that not being so predictable, not so predictable, I don't want to say that like in the past they happened, but not being predictable, where some stuff that I make videos for that we cover, it's like, all right, I know what's about to happen, it follows that, which isn't always the worst thing. It can work for sure, but that was a moment that I was like, oh, I see you there. So yeah, on first listen, this has me very excited for what they'll continue doing. The lead that I was talking about, that's pretty consistent through the second half of the track, it carries on through that second chorus, all the way through the outro of the song. So yeah, for me, I'm very happy with this. Their EP has been something that I've been revisiting a lot lately. I had heard it before, but something in the last few months, I think it was the purple on the cover that had me interested, and I re-listened to it in full a few months ago and was like, I love this. I remembered God Eater, my favorite track off of it. That remained my favorite after all the revisiting that I've done at this point. Still has remained my favorite, but that was the track that I really knew from them before jumping into the rest of the EP and getting here. So yeah, I really liked the art. From a production standpoint, this sounded great to me as well. I've got this in the form of not a YouTube video as well, so not dealing with the compression and stuff. It sounds very clear, a very crisp, a good mix on it sounds as well. So I'm very happy with this. I like the art as well. It's got that, it's very red focused, which is my favorite color, but it has some of the design work that's become a bit more popular with like almost like a barcode looking thing at the bottom and stuff. I was looking, because they also sent over the art with that, and I always like to take a bit of a closer look when a band does something like that. The visualizer with all the reds in it as well. Yeah, I don't have any complaints about this. I think a track like God Eater is still going to remain my favorite, but I hope they continue approaching, you know, I don't want to limit all of their releases to hoping it's like one sound. So I hope they continue exploring their sound, but at the same time, you know, a lead like the one I was talking about, that is just the part of the song that really stuck with me. So hoping to see some more stuff like that. I feel like we're going with all of this guitar work that's so like all over the place and chaotic, and that's sort of the drawing factor, but something like this is really nice for like a refresher almost for my playlist with all of the sort of wackier stuff I've been listening to, at least from the guitar perspective. So anyway, those are my thoughts on First Listen. All of Soul Despair's social media and the visualizer for Crimson will be in the description of this video. Thank you again to the band for getting this over to me with plenty of time to get a video sorted out. Other than that, you can also find my link tree in the description, which will have Patreon. I'm working this weekend at the time I'm filming this on updating the playlist, getting everything all sorted out for Tier 3, the mixtapes. We also have monthly live streams, monthly recaps for everything I've listened to and my favorite stuff I've listened to each month, stuff like that. So if you're interested in looking at what I offer in the Patreon tiers, that will be there. Also, the Discord server invite link will be in the link tree. That is where the community is based for my YouTube channel. We've got a lot of really wonderful music lovers in there. We're just in a community. So if you're interested in joining, checking that out, that will be there. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.